And we want to thank you all for joining us out here for the 2018 Veterans Day Parade. Looks like they're starting a little bit early than the 10 o'clock hour we were told.
You're watching Havasu Online TV. Thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Julia Finney, and I'm with Drake Finney today.
And these bikes coming down are absolutely amazing. This is exactly how you kick off a Veterans Day celebration, with a roar of nothing more iconic than the American motorcycle.
Harley Davidson, it is America's brand. Thank you to all of our veterans out there. Thank you to those that are currently serving.
You know, it's funny, I see your mouth moving, I can't hear a word you're saying over the roar of these motorcycles.
It is loud. God bless all our troops. God bless all our veterans. And on this beautiful Veterans Day morning, we are happy to be able to bring you Lake Havasu City's annual Veterans Day Parade. I recognize a few of those folks. Here in Lake Havasu, we have probably the best group of bikers anywhere in the world. They are generous, they are friendly. A lot of them are just big giant teddy bears. We love our bikers, we love our biker community. And here comes our last one. It's a big trike with a red hat, waving her flags. Here along Lake Havasu Main Street, McCulloch, you'll see that we have flags lining the street. Those are put out every year by the Leo's Club and other various organizations that participate and work together. If you've never seen our flag display on Main Street, McCulloch, then you're missing out. It is something to behold.
And we want to just shout out again to Jersey's Grill for being our host location for the parade. Right now, the sign says all veterans enjoy half off all food and $3 Bloody Vinnies, they say. So come on, join us here at Jersey's Grill.
And even if you're not a veteran, I was able to take part in the breakfast buffet this morning, and oh man, is it good. They have made-to-order omelets or made-to-order eggs.
Wait a minute, you got time to eat already?
I got time to eat. I was early. I don't know about you.
No, great family restaurant. Come on down. We're looking for the rest of the parade to get kicked off and underway. I guess when a group of motorcycles like that decides they're going to start a parade, they start a parade.
I think they do, yes. Our Marine Corps League, I believe, usually opens the parade with their color guard, but we'll see what happens this morning. We do not have a parade lineup, but we're happy just to be here. It's a beautiful, beautiful morning. Blue skies, it's sunny, a little bit of wind, but not too bad. Can't read my phone this morning. I believe it says it's 65 degrees. Still no sign of our color guard. But that's okay, come on down to Jersey's. There's still a few seats left inside. Beautiful morning.
Patio is packed.
It is, because it's the best seat in the house for the parade. What are some of your favorites in the parades every year?
Oh, I have to go definitely with, pull the old heartstrings of the Alumni Association with the LHHS band. That just...
Well, it doesn't hurt that we have a child in the band, so that is a favorite.
Oh, that actually hurts worse. They get up early, and they come out for these things way early. They beat the sun out, though.
They do, yes. They get out early, and they get started early. And I've had the pleasure, honor of traveling with them to one of their competitions. Let me tell you, those kids are dedicated. They work really, really hard.
I think you're just crazy on that trip. I pull teeth to go out on that one. Huge shout out to Nanette and Maribel. I'll let you read that. You got the glasses on right now.
I do have my glasses on. Thank you so much, Nanette. We try really hard to bring you all the local events so that even if you can't come down and be a part of them live, that you can still enjoy and share with your families, whether they're near or far. We are a city of transplants, so to speak, so we know that we come from all over the states, especially in the wintertime. And it's nice to sometimes be able to share those moments with people back east.
Now this is part 3 of our big 4-part saga here in November and December. We've of course kicked it off with London Bridge Days Parade. Then we hit the Extra Life event. Now we're here for veterans, and we wrap it all up in December with the Parade of Lights, where you'll be joining, Roger Galloway will be joining us again, and we'll be out there for both nights once again. So don't forget, put that on your calendar right now to join us. It's the end of our Big 4 season for parades.
That is November 30th and December 1st, I believe. Good morning, Melissa. And good morning, Beverly. Thank you, Pete. Pete loves the commentary.
Pete, of course, loves commentary. Especially when we say things like, join us at Jersey's Grill right now for the amazing breakfast.
Yes.
That breakfast bar is just unbelievable.
It is so good.
And they're just walking in the camera, and Rick Murphy's out, also enjoying the parade.
I heard someone just say, they're coming, they're coming. So, looking forward to seeing that. Yes, I have to agree with you. I love the band. I think the bands, are always my favorite part. I just love the music. I love the drum line. And of course, yes, I'm a little bit biased since we do have a daughter who plays the flute in the band.
Hey, now you're giving away the secret of why there's always a flute player highlighted in football games.
Yes, always. And
if you want to catch the flute player up close and personal, if you scroll down a little bit later after the parade, you can check out where we broadcast from the field, where we were on the field with her. And, I'm standing right next to her, getting a quick of her. But that's a treat, too, because that ends up being almost a demolition derby down there.
I encourage anyone, if you've never been to one of their marching band exhibitions that they have at the end of every marching band season, check it out because it is so much fun. They do their run-through of their performance on the field by themselves, and then they invite the parents down to shadow their student, and it's hilarious. Oh, my gosh, we have so much fun every year, and it's the best. So, yeah, there's an up-close parent's eye view of the field during that particular event. And they do it every year at the end of their marching band season.
Yeah.
The neat thing about the marching band this year is that they came within 2 points of being able to go to state. So they've worked really, really hard.
Ms. Schreiber does an excellent job with them.
She really does, and they look so great in their new uniforms this year.
Yeah, huge shout out by the community. Those uniforms, they purchased those uniforms about a year after I graduated to show you how old they were.
They actually, Mrs. Schreiber herself wore that uniform as a high school student in the band, and then of course she graduated, went off to college, got her degree. came back and they were still wearing those same uniforms. So that tells you how long it is that they've been using
Oh,
those uniforms.
and I can see in the distance now, right at the tip of the street by Corio, we can see the color guard from the Marine Corps League is making their way down.
Yes, they are. We love our Marine Corps League. They do so much for our community. Right now they're working on the Toys for Tots. So if you are familiar with Toys for Tots, then you know that they provide new toys to the children in our community that are in need.
And they're already hard at work. Last night I was down at the shops at Lake Havasu when I was walking by their intake center, and they already have multiple toys being stacked up there. So.
Oh yeah, all kinds of stuff
Yes.
there, and I love being neighbors with them. My shop is out there, and I get to see them come in and unload their big trucks. Beverly just shared with us that the Shriners vets are coming, so we have some
Very
Shriners in
awesome.
the parade this year, which is fabulous. There usually are.
Definitely think there's definitely a sergeant in there that I know for sure.
I'm sure there is. A platoon sergeant.
Yep. And he'll remind you of that.
Yes. Good morning, Chris. Thanks for joining us. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen. This is our...
And what I love about this
Color guard.
crowd, everyone in the crowd stood up the minute they could see the color guard.
Yep. We do have a great community that honors our veterans and our military. Our VFW, which is our organizers of our parade, is leading the parade with their color guard, followed by the Marine Corps League and their color guard. Our local VFW, we thank for all of their service and for organizing this parade every year to honor our veterans.
That's tradition. Old Glory leading the way.
This year's commandant of the Marine Corps League is Mr. Russ Muscari. He is in the golf cart, the passenger in the golf cart this year. He's also their photographer.
He's doing a double duty.
He is today, and he's doing a great job. Hi, Russ. Yes, Beverly, you do know the platoon sergeant you're talking to. We're talking about. Welcome, Andrea. Thank you for joining us today. Comes the old Army truck, Army Jeep with our mayor.
Mayor and state senator.
And our state senator, Sonny Borelli.
Who will have no hesitation in telling you that he is a proud veteran. He's about to jump out and go live with us, as is tradition. Thanks for joining us, Sonny.
Just want to say the first cost of freedom is taking care of our veterans. So improve your net and hire a vet.
Exactly. I agree totally. Thank you so much, Sonny.
Now that he took my microphone, I got it back.
You know what? We just ought to have one ready. It's tradition. Sonny sees us. He knows we're on, and he grabs the mic.
He does. So. He does. Last year when we did our Toys for Tots run coverage, he was our man in the street and talking to all of the participants, and he does a great job for us too. Represents us well.
Local Sheriff Doug Schuster, class of '89, I want to say it was.
And McGruff, the crime dog.
Yes.
crime detective.
And everything lined back up after saying, he's a whirlwind when he hits you.
Yeah, he is.
Which is one of the reasons I like him in the Senate for us.
And following the Mojave County Sheriff's boat is the Mojave County Sheriff's Search and Rescue. This is an all-volunteer group, and they provide a valuable service. We have a lot of desert that surrounds us, and occasionally we have some mishaps that happen out there with some four-wheelers, and these guys go out and find and aid those in need out there in those deserts and mountains.
And it is what comprised full volunteers. You have local business owners, you have retirees, everybody jumps in when the call goes out.
Here's some of their sheriff's office vehicles as well. Thank you for joining us, Carol and Edwin. Again, you're watching Havasu Online TV live, and this is Lake Havasu City's annual Veterans Day Parade 2018. We have a couple more vehicles coming, and then we have, can't tell yet.
Here, one of the veterans I used to know was on the K9 unit. The dog goes by, he starts talking to the dog.
This is our American Legion post. The commander is riding in the vehicle, and some of their members in the boat, as well as their auxiliary.
DAV.
The DAV, Disabled American Veterans. This is a program that transports our veterans to their VA appointments in the Phoenix area, or Flagstaff or Prescott, wherever it is that they need to go. They are transported. It's an all-volunteer service. Thank you, Beverly, for your kind words. It's very nice of you. But today is all about our veterans. Welcome, Tammy. Thank you for joining us.
Representatives from the Veterans Center passing by.
Wearing Tillman shirts
yes.
from ASU. As many know, Pat Tillman was an ASU graduate who was in the NFL and voluntarily joined the military and died serving his country. And we honor him. But today's about our veterans.
Yep.
Super sweet puppies. And here comes our Shriners. Many of you know the Shriners for the little cars, and they're usually here at the London Bridge Days Parade, but we have a very strong Shriners present right here in Lake Havasu City with our Lake Havasu City Shrine Club. They do a lot of service, and they send a lot of money to those Shriners hospitals that care for children.
That one's for hospital and children.
Great group of folks. There's that platoon sergeant we were talking about earlier. So thank you to our El Zariba Shrine Club here in Lake Havasu City for all their service. And
also, the tree at Kmart right now is the Clothe-A-Child tree that they sponsor every year. So while you're out shopping, definitely stop by that tree and pull something down and help a child in need.
Mike, thank you for joining us all the way from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Happy Veterans Day to you, too. Joining us next is our Lake Havasu City Fire Department. Great group of men and women that serve in our fire department. Taking care of us here in our city. We're so fortunate and so blessed to live in a city where we have so many wonderful people. the London Bridge Republican Women's Group in their classic vehicles, and a few walking.
Yeah, in a parade like this, it's really hard to even have favorites because you love everyone coming down, smiles ear to ear.
We're so fortunate to know so many of these folks. We are still a small town here. Thank you for joining us, John. And yes, it is a very nice day. It's cold and windy for Havasu standards. So we'll just say that because it is windy, but cold is a bit debatable depending on where you're from in the country. We're about
Patriot Education coming up right here.
Yep. We're about 65 degrees here today.
This is an amazing volunteer group that works with the education of our children in the patriotic history.
They do. It's an after-school club in all the schools, and the kids learn about the Constitution, about our founding fathers, and then they present that in a competition at the end of the year.
And you can hear their flute chanting down USA, USA. I love to see that kind of patriotism brought back to our school systems. Then we got 2 trailers of it.
2 trailers full of kids. Isn't that great to see? That's our future right there, folks. They're all wearing red, white, and blue.
I like the guy in the back with the blue hair. He's loving it.
Andrea says it's 36 in Wisconsin. So, yes. Again, cold is relative, depending on where you live.
And that's why we film from Lake Havasu City.
Yes, yes it is. We love our hometown. Up next, we have our Mojave County Democrats. Strong showing on the Democrats' part this morning.
Yeah, and still giving respect to our veterans. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. When it comes to the veterans, every one of them deserves our respect, no matter what their affiliation.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, Diane and Natalie. Of course, in Havasu, it's not a parade without some classic cars. That's for sure.
It's not a Thursday in Havasu without classic cars being somewhere.
True, absolutely true.
Pet Partners coming down next.
Another great organization that provides such a great service. Our pet partners go into our schools. They go into our retirement homes, and they provide comfort, and they're fantastic. They're a wonderful group of folks who do a lot for our community. A lot of the animals are rescues. And I know my kids have always loved when the dogs come in to read at the schools, at the elementary schools.
Oh, yes.
To support the kids that need a little bit of help reading, learning how to read and strengthening their reading skills. And what better therapy than to read with a pet?
Can't make out that sign. Can you?
Mojave County Chapter Vietnam Veterans of America. We thank all of our veterans, all those that have served in times of war and peace. And we have a lot of Mustangs coming. Is this the Mustang Club?
If it's not, it is now.
I love me some Mustangs. My first car was a Mustang when I was 16, back in 19-something.
Well, the thing that I love also, this parade started, and these people haven't sat down yet. Majority of people are still on their feet.
Still standing.
Still showing respect.
Thank you for joining us, Carol and Russ. Yes, absolutely we love our town of Havasu. Great people live here.
That Russ Muscari jumped on?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, he's different, you know, in the parade and watching the parade. I could see him doing that.
I love the flags on the windshield wipers going back and forth. That's awesome.
And now,
Corn Wars. There's our. See.
And you can hear in the
September
background.
2nd, 1945, Tokyo Day. There's a veteran in the passenger seat there that served that particular day.
And you can hear in the background, and here they come.
Here comes the Lake Havasu High School Marching Band of Knights in their brand new uniforms, looking sharp. Of course, their color guard is leading the way. Their color guard made up of boys and girls, mostly girls, from the high school. They work all year. This is a class at the high school. Part of the marching band class that meets at 7 a.m. every morning. America the Beautiful, they're playing. If you couldn't tell, there are some fans of the band in our midst. Looking sharp in their new uniforms, sounding great. We have some of our band boosters following behind.
And also our band members that are injured in the truck. We had a couple broken legs this year.
A couple injuries this year, and this is the Marching Band of Knights trailer that they use when they travel to competitions and of course to parades and items that carries all the big stuff as well as all the uniforms. And
Next
that was
up,
purchased by the community the year before, the uniforms. So our community has a strong support.
Next up, military moms.
Where would our military be without those at home holding up the flag and supporting them? So thank you to all those military moms and wives that support their military. Our Veterans Thrift, we have great Veterans Thrift store, supports our veterans and our military, active military from our area. Civil Air Patrol is part of that group right there. Civil Air Patrol features kids from all over the city who learn about the various branches of the military, and my understanding is they even get to learn how to fly an airplane.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Great car, look at that. Made to look like an airplane.
A lot of high fives for the veterans when that one went by.
Next is another program that involves pets, and it's called Love on a Leash. Very similar to the Pet Partners program, but they serve a slightly different mission. They also have pet-provided therapy. All their dogs are certified, of course, and again, a wonderful service that they provide to our community. Those that are ill, those that are homebound, they have the ability to have some comfort in the form of some pet therapy. Thanks again for joining us today. You are watching Havasu Online TV live. And I'm Julia, and this is Drake. We're happy to bring you today's Veterans Day Parade from Lake Havasu City, Arizona.
Another pet Ryan shotgun.
Cute. Cute little two-seater car, too. Next group coming up is called Desert Danes. This is a group of owners that have Great Danes. As you know, Great Danes are big. Big dogs. Thank you, Chris. I think I intentionally turned down Drake's mic.
That does happen.
Sweet babies. Great Danes are such beautiful dogs.
Some are bigger than the child who's greeting them on the side of the road.
Yes. Oh, but they love the attention. So sweet.
Just fair warning for you, your child is asking for a Great Dane now.
I think she's just excited.
It's like next up's a group of BMX riders.
Well, sure does.
All holding their American flags.
Lots of activities for our youth here in Lake Havasu City, and BMX is one of those activities. They start them from the little tiny ones where they're just pushing with their legs and advance up through the bikes to the larger, more expensive bikes, of course. A lot of them, of course, are sponsored by Anderson Auto Group. You can see that on their jerseys.
Here it is. LHC BMX supports our veterans.
Yep. And the smart parents are on the float. On the back of that float is one of those little tiny bikes that they push with their feet. That's how they start them out before they get their balance. It's really kind of a great program. Thanks for joining us, Robin.
RT Firearms, always huge supporter of our veterans.
Absolutely. Can't read the sign.
RTT Firearms.
No. Oh. Daughters of the American Revolution. Havasu chapter. Here comes the vehicle full of Daughters of the American Revolution. You know, Drake, I qualify for the Daughters of the American Revolution.
Yes, you do.
I could join that group.
I'm surprised you haven't yet. Name one organization, Havasu, you haven't belonged to.
And here comes our Elks. Our Elks Club, very active in our community. Great sponsors of our kids. Provide all kinds of financial support for all kinds of programs.
Tons of educational programs, tons of awards.
Absolutely.
Not a day goes by in our school system where an elk is not involved one way or another.
And scholarships for our kids. They do such a great job. And I understand they have some really great food.
Yes.
At their Elks Club. I was speaking to someone who was looking for some fish and chips, and they said that they were going to go to the Elks Club for their fish and chips.
Amazing fish and chips there. Now it appears we've got a Corvette club coming through.
Yes, Carol, the school's patriotic clubs have gone through already this morning. They were towards the front of the parade.
And they're screaming USA the whole way.
They sure were. We love our kids. Our daughter last year was part of that patriotic club. We have veterans lining our street, as well as in the parade.
Yeah, and it's great when the parade goes by and they find the veterans with the markings, their hats, their jackets, and they thank them.
They stop.
Yep.
Sometimes they thank them. Been great support in our community for our veterans and those that are currently serving. I think this is the Corvette Club.
Yes.
Beautiful vehicles.
Now, see, if we just pull the Corvette Club back around and the Mustang Club, we could have a car show right here.
We could, absolutely. Absolutely. And that doesn't even include all of our classic car clubs we have here in Havasu. But I got to drive a Corvette once. Happened to belong to my boss at the time. Got to drive it all the way to the Vegas airport and all the way back.
You got a little more experience. I was working at boat broker at the time, and I got to move it from parking spot A to parking spot C. That's all Dean Mesmer would trust me with it.
Well, I tell you, when I was handed those keys and told, go get, forgot even who I was getting, but when I had to go and get them from the airport, that was...
Did you even get them then?
I did, yes. I did get the person that I was supposed to pick up and got them safely back here without even a scratch. There was a scratch. Boss didn't tell me about it, but I don't think there was. I don't think I've ever parked farther away in a parking spot in my entire life.
No, that's the tradition, definitely. The higher value of the car, the farther away it is from everyone else.
Yeah.
If you do want to see some great classic cars, as is tradition with Havasu, every Thursday night, come up and down the street. They bring them all out. They park them on the sides. You know, sit by Jersey's or any of the other great establishments up and down Main Street, and you're going to see a great show.
And next is our Sea Scouts. Cheryl, thanks for joining us today. We're enjoying this sunny but a little windy morning and this wonderful parade. Lake Havasu City Sea Scouts.
And the Sea Scouts, I was wondering where they're at. They're on the sidelines, going down, shaking hands, and passing out pins to the veterans, thanking them for their service. Again, this is an amazing thing that this town is about.
Next, we have the Havasu Four-Wheelers. Now, the Havasu Four-Wheelers, big group. A lot of them are our winter visitors that come in. But, oh, man, big group. They go out on trail rides out in the desert.
We'll put it this way. The Four-Wheelers Club is so big that I'm scanning down the edge of the parade route, and I can't see the end of them right now.
Yeah. So Russ is asking, who was that was mentioning Dean at Boat Brokers? That was Drake Finney, and that was actually Drake's very first job back in 19-something. He was a lot boy.
Yep. Yep. Minimum wage back then, and I can admit it, was about $3.85 an hour I got paid to clean all the boats for show ready.
Yep.
So.
A little bit of Havasu history there.
Yes. Back when Boat Broker was all the way back on Acoma.
Yep. That's a beautiful red, white, and blue Jeep that just went by. Star-spangled up. One that's all decked out like the U.S. Navy. The little carrier in that army green color. Just the other morning, I was heading out to my shop out by the airport, and there was a huge group of Havasu four-wheelers that was just starting out on their morning trail ride. And there had to have been about 20 Jeeps there in line, just starting out their trail ride for the morning. And man, what a sight. And how much fun would that be? I mean, I would love it.
And they go and play all day, because when I left your shop that same day about 7 o'clock at night, you know, they were just pulling in 3 or 4 of them. Yep. Lights were still on, still blazing, having a fun time.
Old
wow,
Jeep Star,
that is classic.
a Jeep Star Commander. Now that's a Jeep.
And they are still coming.
Oh yeah, still all the way up the street. So we've got a ways to go here with the Havasu Four-Wheelers Club. Behind us is Pete, the owner of Jersey's Grill.
Yep, he's greeting the veterans around town also.
Greeting the folks sitting on his patio this morning. And in case you're wondering, Jersey's is where we are broadcasting from. And if you have not experienced their breakfast buffet that they have,
which I haven't yet today, I know.
It is absolutely amazing. It is so good. And they even have a chef right there making fresh the omelets and eggs, and it is really, really, really good. And let me tell you, he's working his tush off. He's definitely busy. He's got a line of people. And of course, Jersey's Grill is the best place to sit on the patio and watch the comings and goings of Main Street McCulloch when the weather is as beautiful as it is today. I think we're coming down to the end of these Jeeps.
A lot of them sporting the camouflage colors still. Many of them served. And we appreciate that so much.
65 to 68. Thank you for your service. Man.
65, 68. Now he's going to go play in the dirt. Have fun. You deserve it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now we mentioned Dean Messmer and the boat brokers a little bit earlier.
Don't tell him I'm here. He'll put me back to work.
But coming up the street, and I know we're not there yet, but coming down the street is Big Red, #1, and this is the classic fire truck that has been restored by Dean Messmer and his crew at Boat Brokers, and it is maintained in recognition and appreciation of our nation's first responders and our armed forces. On the back, riding in the back, is a veteran up in that top seat, waving to everybody as they go. Dean is a very patriotic individual, and that fire truck welcomes home every active military as they come home from serving. He's at all of the groups. He's at all the public functions, thanking veterans. When it comes to veterans, Dean doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk. And we appreciate that about him.
And we thought we were done with the Four Wheelers Club, but no, there's part 2.
I guess there's more, yes. Carol says, wish they had this later on in the day or on Saturday, so we didn't have to choose between church or the parade. And most of the time, Carol, the Veterans Day Parade is actually on Veterans Day. And it doesn't always land on Sundays. Oftentimes it's on the Monday of Veterans Day. It lands on a Monday. While Veterans Day is observed tomorrow, Veterans Day is actually today, so we are celebrating that today.
Yep. Absolutely love the thank you vet signs on all of them.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this beautiful morning. Thank you. Did you get you? Okay. I think my coffee's cold.
Don't tell Pete that.
Well, we talked about all the four-wheelers. We talked about the Mustangs. We talked about the Corvettes. Here comes some of Havasu's classic cars. Now, this is by no means inclusive of all of them that are in Havasu, but it is representative of some of the diversity that we have in our classic car clubs. Our classic car clubs do a lot for the community too. You know, they provide sponsorships for our kids for both sports as well as donations to all the various clubs in the schools.
Yeah, the classic car community is just support this community 100%. Always giving.
And there's many different car clubs. There's the ones that do the Run to the Sun.
Mm-hmm. Rods and Relics.
Rods and Relics, yeah, that's right. There's the Classic Car Club. There's
One Summer Night Cruisers.
The Over the Hill Gang.
Over the Hill Gang. Tons and tons of them. And they all believe in one thing: getting together, having a good time, supporting the community, and showing off their cars.
Carol, thanks for all your comments, and you're welcome. And thank you for watching from home with your veteran. And please, from us to him, thank him for his service. This is our U.S. submarine veterans, the Arizona Bubbleheads. These are submarine veterans, the U.S. Navy Silent Service, as they call them. Those that served in submarines. And I believe that wraps up our parade today. As I see vehicles going to and fro on the main street over there, and folks are tearing down. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this morning. Thank you for watching from your homes, whether you're here in Lake Havasu City or elsewhere, all over the United States and possibly overseas. If you are in Lake Havasu and you get the opportunity to come down and visit Jersey's Grill, they are doing a Veterans Day half off all day. All veterans enjoy half off.
All food.
All food. And let me tell you, it's great food. Can't beat it.
Yeah, as Pete says to me every time I walk in here, he just looks at me and says, "Shut up and eat."
That is his tagline, absolutely. And thank you to Pete, the owner of Jersey's Grill, for allowing us to use up space on his patio and broadcast from his location. We use his electricity and his Wi-Fi, and so. But
then we eat afterwards, because I'm going to that breakfast bar.
We do eat while we're here, so yes, we do that, and we enjoy this. Thank you, everyone, for watching us, and I hope everyone has a great day. And veterans, thank you for your service. And if you're not a veteran, please go out. Find a veteran, shake their hand, and tell them thank you for their service. They deserve that.
All right, then that's going to be a wrap. On behalf of myself, Drake, Julia, the whole crew here at Jersey's Grill, Pete, want to wish you a happy Veterans Day. And like we said, we will catch you next at the Parade of Lights.
Boat Parade of Lights, November 30th and December 1st. So be sure to tune in for that.